Hello, this is the Psychedelic Cherry, and today we're talking about marbling. Hello, I'm May McDonough, and this, as always, is the Psychedelic Cherry. Welcome back. If you're watching for the first time, hope you like it. Today, I want to talk about how to marble paint, presumably not for paper, but for objects, including guitar pedals like I do. So I'm going to show you how to take something that looks sort of like this and make it look a little more like this. Ah, beautiful. So first of all, let me tell you what you're going to need. You'll need a bucket, a fish tank heater, a pair of gloves to work in, your pedal enclosure, some masking tape, some disposable pipettes, as well as, of course, your enamel paints. You'll need some spray primer coat in any color you like, and a finishing coat. I prefer automotive spray. You'll need some borax, a cup to stir the borax in, and a paint stick to stir the borax with. If you have all of these things, you are ready to go. Okay, so you've got all your supplies, you're ready to get started. The first thing you want to do is take your pencil, wrap it up with some tape, and jam it into the biggest hole in your enclosure. It should look something like this. Then you're going to take some tape and tape up the insides so that the pencil is sturdy and so that the insides are protected from your paint job. Once you've done that, you end up with something like this. Now we're going to use our primer coat. It can be a color if you choose, or just white. I'm using white today. And we're just going to shake this guy up. We're going to put this down on some protective paper, and we're going to spray the base coat on. It should look something like this. So hopefully that editing magic worked. Once you have your base coat on, we're going to let it dry for about an hour before we do the marbling effect. While that is drying, we can go ahead and start setting up our bucket. So let's get to that. Okay, so now we have our bucket lined with the trash bag and full of water. It's about 2 gallons because I'm using a 2-gallon plant pot. Now I'm going to take my handy fish tank heater, set it to 76 degrees, and submerge it in the bucket. Okay, so I've put some gloves on, and I've poured myself a glass of very hot water, just from the sink. And now I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of borax to this water and use a paint stick to stir that up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Now we just stir. This will help it to dissolve a little bit, and we're going to add it to our bucket of water and stir it some more. Let's give that a stir. And we're good. Now it's time to add our paints. So I actually have tried a few different types of paints. A lot of people like to use these Humbrol enamel paints. I find they actually do need to be thinned quite a bit with turpentine. What I find always works the best and easiest is this brand called Testors. And you can get them at Michael's, you can get them at hobby stores. They're classic enamel hobby paint. And they come in these great little sizes, and they come in fluorescent paints, any color you can imagine. So that's what I'm using today. Let's go ahead and start using our pipettes to place the paint inside the bucket. I'm going to go ahead and start with this yellow. Suck up what we can. And drop it in the bucket. Very slowly and cautiously. Now we're going to add another color. Use a new fresh pipette because these are disposable and they really don't work more than once very well. Brown. Okay, let's go ahead and add some light yellow. Now, if your pipettes aren't sucking it up, that's probably because it needs to be thinned a little bit. And you can just use paint thinner or turpentine, but typically I find test stores works great. A nice light yellow to add some dimension. I'm going to do maybe a little bit more of that with a fresh pipette. Okay. And last but not least, we're going to go with some orange. Look at that. How beautiful is that? Love it. That orange really came out pretty bright. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this pipette and just design, and then we're going to lower the petal in. So if you can see here, oh, it's drying already. Gotta be careful. So we've got this beautiful prime coated petal, and we're just going to lower it in such that no one surface goes directly straight in. So kind of tilt it, and then we're just going to lower it very slowly. Here we go. Hopefully you can see all this. There we go. There you go, there's another one. These come out different every time, and so there's really no telling what it's going to look like. This is probably not my best, but it's hard to do this while filming. Alright, so as you can see, we've got this beautiful marbled swirl pattern. It came out a little chunky this time, maybe because I was holding a camera while trying to do this, but I'm pretty happy with it. Sorry about that. I like the coloring. You learn as you go. Now we're just going to let this dry for 24 hours, and then we'll go ahead and put our automotive clear coat over it. And then it's done. Alright, so that's it. That's how you marble a petal. Play with it, play with the colors, play with what you do in the water. Just do it quickly because it dries pretty fast. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please feel free to say so, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm May McDonough, and this has been the Psychedelic Cherry.